Welcome to Rally Point Grill. I'm Anthony, and this is our live fire program where we talk with patrons and servicemen and women of our area. Today we have Alex Bryant with us today. Well, Alex, tell us a little bit about yourself and why we're here today.
All right, so I am a Cherokee County native. I've lived here all my life. This is home for the past several generations. I'm probably one of the few that's left now, honestly. I own two businesses based in the county. I own a digital marketing agency, and I also own an outdoor skills school. And I'm an 11 Bravo in the Georgia Army National Guard.
Perfect. Thank you for your service, sir. All right, well, everyone knows how this works. So we have 6 wings with various hot sauces, and Alex here will start eating one, and we'll start asking a few questions.
Right on.
Way to do it, sir.
Let's do it. All right. So what is this one that I'm picking up here?
Hot.
That's good.
To let everyone know, he is not a stranger to hot sauces.
Mm-hmm.
So we tried to spice it up for him a little bit today, but we'll see if his face starts to match his shirt.
Yep. No,
All right, so how did you get involved with where you are today in the career? And was it decisions? What decisions you made? You know, what opportunities came across your plate that led you here?
So, honestly, both my businesses are kind of based on the sum total of my life experiences, right? So, thank you. My first business venture is still going. It's called SARCRAFT. It's an outdoor skills school, so we teach wilderness skills of all kinds: wilderness survival, land navigation, bushcraft, adventure prep, things of that nature. And that comes from my experience with Cherokee County Fire and Emergency Services. I was wilderness search and rescue part-time for 10 years. Really loved that role, and that's what led me to doing that. I realized that most of our missing subjects, if they had a basic level of outdoor skills, they could have self-rescued. And that dire emergency could have just been another good story to tell everybody over a beer. Now, ALPHA1TE, my new company, that is based on, so what we do is we are a marketing agency that is devoted to helping blue-collar pros win. So if you're the trades or home services, we're your guys. And that comes from the fact that I do have a sales and marketing background. Like my corporate career was always sales. I have a degree in marketing. I've worked for several agencies in the past, but throughout my life, you know, the trades were kind of always there for me. Like when I was in a time of transition, like working through college, working through starting businesses, whatever, like I knew enough people, was related to enough people in trades, like I knew I could always find work on the job site. So I ended up probably have about 2.5 years total working construction, been an equipment operator, done remodeling work. So I really have a heart for the trades. I want to help those guys out. So in that manner, all my life experiences have led me to the 2 businesses that I currently own. And you know, I love them both. They're kind of, they've got my fingerprints all over them, and they're kind of part of who I am.
First wing, not too bad.
Way
down. You should take a sip of the beer. So how did you decide to start those 2 businesses? I've
always been an entrepreneur at heart. Technically, my first business I actually started when I was 13, so I grew up on a farm. Actually, it's the same property that the Wilderness Skills School runs on.
Wing number 2.
And my very first business was, had chickens, had a huge garden plot, so I sold eggs and produce at the local farmers markets. Did that until about the time I hit college. Just got too busy for it. But always been entrepreneurial, always wanted to own my own business. That's for whatever reason. I think it's, in all the jobs that I've worked, I've just gotten too easily bored. Like it's not challenging enough, to be quite honest. And owning your own business, it's a new challenge every day. There's always a problem to solve. It never gets old. And you can take it, you have endless problems to solve, but you can solve them any way you see fit.
There you go.
So it's a lot of fun. Like I enjoy the deliverable aspect of what I do in both businesses. That's really cool. But I enjoy running a business. It's a lot of fun.
That was well put. many problems every day, but you get to make that decision on how to tackle those problems. How do you think the hot sauce on that's doing so far?
It's good. What's the flavor here? It's kind of fruity.
That one is, I believe, Dead Red by General's Hot Sauce, and I'm wondering if the little fruity is mixing from the beer in your wing. But that's one of my favorites from General's Hot Sauce.
It's good.
Now, it may have touched the Jamaican jerk one, and that may be where some of that flavor is coming from. But why did you choose to join the service? I know you're in the Army National Guard, and it's a very recent decision that you made. You made after having 2 businesses, becoming a worker for Cherokee County Fire, and then decided to go in the Army National Guard. You said last May of 2022.
Yeah, so that was officially when I enlisted. So I've now got a little over a year of service under my belt. So I am pretty new to it. But some of my reasoning, one was I loved my time in search and rescue, but towards the end of that time there, I was kind of pushed into more of an admin role. So I'd been a squad leader for the last 5 years that I was there. I was in a field leadership role, really loved it. And then basically was told, hey, you're going to be brought back to the command post. You're going to not go out in the field. And I'm like, it's not why I'm doing this. Right. So part of my decision in leaving. And I was like, okay, I still have this desire in me. I still want to be out in the field, still want to be doing the stuff. Actually, I can tell you the moment I had the realization was I was probably about a month out after leaving the team. You know, I left in October, so it was like late November. I was sitting on the couch, had a really nice fire going, just hanging out, and it was a horrible, like awful, like freezing rainstorm outside, just gross out there. And I was looking at him like, I need to be out there. Like, I need to be out in the shit. Like, that is, because that's usually when we get calls. It's like the worst weather conditions in the middle of the night, because that's when the stakes are high. So I got used to going out in that. I feel wrong being indoors during this. Like, I'm still young enough, I still have it in me, like, I need to be out in the shit. Right. So that was part of it. But honestly, like, I've always wanted to be in the military. I come from a military family, and my dad, all my uncles, both my grandfathers, basically every male in my family. And, you know, I took a different route in my youth. You know, I went the fire service route instead. Also had a lot of, like, chronic injuries. You know, I had to have shoulder replacement, a bunch of other stuff that, like, kept me from going in at various points. But, like, everything aligned at that one time. Like, I'd gotten myself back in really good shape. I'd left the team. I didn't have, like, you know, I was in enough of a period of transition, like, it's now or not at all. Right. So that's when I went ahead and enlisted. And it's been great.
Now, when you were leaving Cherokee County, did you know, were you like planning on retiring at that point, and then sitting there in front of that fire realizing you needed to be out?
It was in the back of my mind, because I had really thought about the National Guard for several years before that, just because, you know, I never, as like a grown adult, I didn't want to do active duty because I have roots here, I have parents to take care of, I've got 2 businesses, I'm married. Like, it's active duty is honestly not, it's not feasible for me. I have to give up too much. So I thought about the Guard before, and for various reasons, just I almost let that dream die. But then COVID happened, and everybody was like, "Oh, it's the easiest crisis in the world. All you got to do to save everyone is just sit on your couch and do nothing." I'm like, fuck that. I don't want to do nothing. Like, I want to be out there doing something. Like, what can I do to help? And the only people that were like out there doing the stuff and helping were the National Guard. Like, that's where I want to be. And that kind of rekindled that fire. So about the time that it coincided with me leaving Search and Rescue, I'm like, this is the time. So I kind of already had a plan, and then you know, my wife was supportive of me doing that, and pulled the trigger on it.
It's always good.
Yeah.
It's always good. All right, so for our next wing, I believe we have the Jamaican jerk. It's kind of hot, but it's got a really good flavor to it.
Let's see about that.
change the palate a little bit.
That's good. Yeah, y'all 3 for 3 here. That's tasty.
All right, so what has been the best thing about your career at this point? And let's go with the Army National Guard.
Okay. So military side.
Yeah.
Honestly, twofold. I would say the fulfillment of the lifelong dream.
Yeah.
Always having wanted to serve in the military, and really being able to step into that tradition in my family and being able to stand side by side with the men that I most admire, that raised me and that I grew up with, and I'm now part of that brotherhood as well. And also just the camaraderie of being in. Yeah, I'm in a great unit. I was very much welcomed. It's very professional, very high speed. For a National Guard unit, I would say that we do a lot more stuff and train at a higher standard than some active duty units that I know.
And with that, you know, entering later in life, what was that like? Meeting everybody else? Was everyone else close to your age with the same backgrounds, or was it very widespread of reasons why they were there?
So I really kind of thought going in that I was going to be a total anomaly going in my age. And in the Guard, it's not so much. Like, there are quite a few guys actually that I went to basic training with, and a few in my unit that have a similar story. So, you know, obviously, you know, all the AARP jokes and shit talking and all that, I get flamed for being, you know, a 31-year-old E4, but whatever. It's fun. But it's not, you know, I don't stand out as much as I thought I would in that regard. You know, one of my best friends in my unit is 2 years older than me, and we went to basic training at the same time. And it was similar. Like, he tried to go Marine Corps OCS, like right out of college, had an injury, failed out, and came back 10 years later, Army National Guard. So, yeah, it's not. Yes, I am old, but it's not. I'm not as. It's not as bad as I thought it would be.
And what is the cutoff for the National Guard?
It's 40 now.
40?
Yeah, it was 35 till a few months ago, and now they upped it.
Okay.
Because having a hard time getting recruitment numbers.
Yeah.
But you know, the oldest dude in my basic training class was 37, not prior service.
Fresh, just right.
Yeah, and no college experience. He was a D1, 37 years old. Like, I didn't have to. Like, dude had some testicles on him. Like, it was impressive. And he was crushing it too.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, everyone has their spot, and sometimes we find our spot later in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and what I tell people is, like, I just did it backwards. Like, most people go in the military, get out, become a first responder. I did the opposite.
How was that wing?
It was tasty.
Good.
Yeah, it was really good.
All right, for this next one, I feel like I put maybe a little too much sauce in that one. Oops.
So what is this one?
Oh, you had to ask me, didn't you?
I mean, I guess I'll run out.
A little thicker of a sauce.
Yeah.
I
A little
that-
smoky, a little barbecue.
Yeah, I think that's
Still spicy.
That's the lid burner. It's the one that sticks with you. So, you know, we talked about you joining later in life and kind of going at the cycle a little backwards than what most would think.
Mm-hmm.
How has this affected your home life? Like, obviously, you say your wife is supportive of it.
Yeah.
Obviously, she probably realized it after you being home for a while that you were probably getting stir crazy, and I'm sure she noticed. And obviously, she is supportive, but how has that changed with you going on drill? You were at drill last weekend.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to lie, it's a strain. I mean, so something I've learned is that the National Guard experience can vary wildly depending on where you're at. Like a lot of guys I went to basic training with, they're like, yeah, I'm in a non-deployable unit. We drill once a month. We did our 2 weeks in the summer. That's it. Really, it's part-time. The unit I'm in has a very high octane, but like we go out a lot. I'm learning that we deploy about every other year and get activated a lot, do a bunch of training rotations. So it's honestly more of a true part-time job. So it is difficult to balance that civilian side. Like I'm trying to build a business, knowing that I'm gonna be leaving again, and not wanting to shut those down while I'm gone. I've got to build it to the point that I've got employees, SOPs, things straightened out where it can run without me if necessary. And also make sure that my wife's taken care of, my parents are taken care of, all that's handled. So it can be difficult to balance, but
yeah. I can only imagine, it's a true part-time. It's your part over here and your part over here, and you really can't say, I'm going to take the day and finish up what I was doing over here. It's pretty hard to schedule.
Yeah,
I've heard. So.
Yeah, and a lot of people in my brigade, they have a hard time keeping a job civilian side because they're gone all the time. Which I'm grateful that I have my own businesses that it's less dependent on that, because you're not supposed to be able to fire people for being off military service, but they find ways to do it. So yeah, it's tough, but there are perks though. I mean, like I don't have to worry about health insurance. Obviously we've got TRICARE. My wife and I are covered. We're set to go. Got nice investment bonus, education benefits when I get to an MBA. Like all that's real. And my unit, the Guard in general, my unit in particular does. Being the Guard, they do realize they have to care about people's families, their home life. Like they do a really good job of doing the best they can. Especially my chain of command, like they're very sensitive to that. We're all in the same boat. So, there is that realization, like, yeah, it's hard, but we're all in it together.
How's that mean?
It's good. We're finally getting into the spiciness.
Yeah, all right. I like it.
I'm going to need another beer.
It's on the
Perfect.
Okay. Yeah, we're good. We're getting there.
I am going to need another beer.
Yeah, I can tell what's coming. Thank you. Appreciate it.
How do you like the beer? This is our
it's great.
Point Grill Lager. That we
Yeah,
have.
no, I'm a fan. Super clean, drinks easy. It's perfect pairing for wings.
We'll call those cold ones next time, and you'll have to try 6 more different beers.
I'm down. You can push my arm so hard.
So, what's next? Ask what's next for the business, but obviously you're trying to work into letting that run itself while you're active, depending on where they send you, if they send you. What's next for you? What's next for your businesses?
So, honestly, obviously I can't divulge details because OPSEC, but I am deploying before the end of the year. And I think I'm okay saying that I am going to Eastern Europe. Won't say where, but I am. And right now, everything's just getting ready for that. So, gotta get 2 businesses squared away. I'm renovating the house I'm in right now. Gotta get that done. So honestly, I can't really see past that. Now, my goal for that is to get both businesses to where they can operate themselves, their cash flow consistently without me being there while I'm gone. And then after I get back, then I'm going to be looking at really like serious growth and scale. So that's what's coming.
Well, we got 2 more. I know I've been throwing a few extra questions your way while we talk, but this next one may ramp up a little bit for you.
Cool. Yeah. So if their goal is then like
that last one. So that last one is our house nuke sauce. I make it for flavor. It's flavorful.
All right.
And those who've been here know that it is created for flavor. It's there to not hurt you, but it reminds you. You won't
That's
forget.
kind of like something a drill sergeant.
You won't forget about it. Let's say it that way.
Does have a good flavor.
So, what's one thing you've learned about your country while you've been active that may have not known or noticed prior to, being an Army National?
So something cool, and this is a really positive one, is that we are a lot more alike than we think we are. Like, regardless of demographic, background, race, religion, culture, whatever. As Americans, if we can look past the surface level division, we got a lot more in common than we think we do. And of course, anybody who's been in the military will tell you that's one of the coolest parts, is that you meet guys from all over, from different cultures, different backgrounds, different places, and you're thrown in this pressure cooker together, and you have to get along. Like, you got to figure it out. And those surface level differences go away, and you find the common ground and end up becoming best friends. And best friends with people you never would probably even talk to otherwise.
Right.
And
Probably just one because you wouldn't have crossed each other's
no,
paths.
never would have even interacted.
Right.
Yeah. That's what everyone says. Like, you'll get, dudes from the hood who were in a literal gang before they came to basic training, and then like dudes from the country that have never left their hometown, and they hate each other at first, they fight it out, and then by the end they're best friends. So, finding that common ground, especially in such an age of division and controversy, it's really cool to see. It gives me hope for what we can be as a country, that like, if we try and we're put in a situation where we're forced to, like, we actually can find common ground and get along.
Yeah.
So it's super cool. That's one of my favorite parts of it.
Fantastic. That's what I've always been told from everyone, that we all bleed red.
Mm-hmm.
What's on the outside doesn't matter. So, how's that wing treating you? Did
It
ramp
is
up a little?
tasty. Yeah.
Okay.
It's noticeable.
We
It's
like-
good.
We're gonna have to start a rating system of how hot they are to that specific person based on the napkin and beer usage.
Yeah.
All right, so we made it to the end. You're on our last one. I guess our last question
Holy
is,
hell.
how much how much do you really like hot sauce?
I'm a fan.
All right.
Yeah, this one's up there though.
Yeah, that's our nuclear. I make it with habaneros, serranos, and jalapenos, and a few extra natural ingredients. There's no extracts or anything that I bought just to hurt you. It's all natural recipe. I actually get it from next door and cook it here in house.
That's
So
good. Very peppery.
yeah, we offer that on the wings. We have a flamethrower burger. And of course, you can add it to anything else you would want here. So.
Cool. I made a terrible decision and wiped my face with one of the napkins I'd already used. I have sauce in my eye. It's great.
Well, your face is close to the shade of your shirt, so
We're getting there.
we're good there. Well, thank you, Alex, for being here today, and
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me. This was fun.
hopefully everything goes well with you being deployed soon, and hopefully we'll see you back, and maybe we can circle around and I'll have some hotter sauces for you.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Perfect.
Good
Thank you,
stuff.
sir.
Absolutely.